from Zenyatta. He learned it. He learned to have the peace.
Wasn't Zenyatta to go like this?
That's even better of a piece. I don't know exactly. I kind of know the storyline, but go ask HQ when you get a chance.
Oh, I will. I've got a lot of questions. Why did Mutalisk fly in space? That's what I'm wondering. You know, these are the kind of things that I gotta know the answers to.
Where'd they come from?
How do they flap?
Who made them?
How do they flap? There's no air. Okay, we're going to Sky Temple. This is not a surprising map pick for Tempest, or sorry, for Miracle, considering that they're controlling the macro versus Feliz right now.
Big time. And they want to snowball their games here. And I think they can pick similar. And if they get their chance on that Maiev once again, this is the perfect map to do so.
Yeah. Obviously great map for Hanzo, and a good map for Tyrael as well. Has seen no involvement in today's first series, actually. It's been all about the Medivh. I think this will be a Maiev ban again, based on what we saw last game, so... Probably just going to see another Malfurion first pick. It's interesting to me that with the role swaps back to Judy and Gunza, the tank has been picked towards the bottom both times, the Anubarak and the ETC, so...
Yeah, back when Gunza was on tank, they always picked the tank before the second ban phase, knowing that this hero pool is not the best. But they don't have to do that anymore. They can actually build their own when Feliz is actually doing the same thing over and over again. I don't think they are ready to adapt into the newest meta, 30.6. I think they're still back in the first Maiev patch when they were picking Malfurion with Tracer, and they don't even have Tracers out anymore. They lost their color. They're banning Medivh all the time. It seems like they're just not ready for the newest meta.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just it's as simple as that. Like, there's not a whole lot of moving forward at the moment for this team. I would like to see a Tracer pick come in at some point. Oh, he almost did the Genji pose, Gunza. He was one finger off. There he is. Look at that.
There he is.
One finger off, though. Someone's got to tell him it's two.
Hashtag HGC and tell him.
Oh, boy. Alright, well, they're bringing it down to the wire here. I have a feeling it's just Sonya Hanzo. Oh, Garrosh Hanzo.
Very confident, Feliz. They have to be the team with the dive against the Hanzo. Hanzo was never really threatened in game 1. And now they don't even have their Garrosh, which was the only thing that was kind of hard to deal with in the front.
That's true. Now, are they going to go back to the Muradin pick? I hope not. Maybe pick up an ETC. Not now, by the way. Do not pick it now.
Basically, Miracle is throwing that. You can, if you want to dive, pick that Genji, but your first pick was Malf, not with any other support. So, if you really want double support, try it. But we have other ways to defeat that also. If you really put in Uther with Malfurion, no. So first picking Malfurion really has been fading out over the weeks. And first pick Malfurion actually dropped down to, I think, 30% win rate, over which was actually somewhere around the 60% last weekend.
Yeah.
Only in Korea, I'm saying.
There's the Tracer I was looking for. Grabbing Sonya with it as well, so a strong top lane matchup. Very likely. Or they could at least force out potentially the Malthael here. Might be banned. I feel like Miracle needs to ban... Well, here's a question. If it were any other team, if I just remove the Feliz nameplate and put Ballistics or KSP Black, you ban Tyrael here, right? But last time when given a great opportunity to run Tyrael on Battlefield of Eternity, they picked Muradin instead. So maybe you don't actually ban the Tyrael here. Maybe Feliz is just saying, no, I'm just not interested in the hero at the moment. We need OJ to play one of his 6 heroes. Realistically, 5 heroes. He played only one game with Jahan. I wouldn't call that a hero that's in his hero pool. So I think 5 heroes.
This one, Muradin's actually okay. Stormbolt with Tracer's Pulse Bomb has been somewhat of a pair together when Garrosh was away. ETC also not bad, since ETC will not be the only one Because they also have Sonya within that line.
Banning the Genji. Sorry, G-Cliff.
Oh, that's you.
Oh,
You're
that's
banned.
me, yeah. Oops, my bad. I forgot my
I'm
own
picked.
identity.
Mada Mada there, brother. Miracle takes out one Shimada.
Uther ban coming through on the other side. So, will weaken some picks. But I think that Garrosh would love to have a Rhaegar because of the armor he already has natively and how powerful Ancestral can be. It's so difficult to kill Garrosh. Great hero for camp clear on the Siege Giants as well.
If it was a KSP Black or even Good Luck, which they actually showed against Tracer, Stukov Silence was very, very powerful. And they also have Taunt, so they already have a good tool against Tracer. Banning Uther a little bit questionable. I think we have to really see what else that Miracle's trying to do.
Dahaka coming through here, so that's going to be what has to face off against Sonya, but they'll have that global because this is their map pick. They want to have macro control. They want to, you know, get that 10 first to make potentially a boss play. And Tychus coming through, so we're looking for support as the last pick, actually, interestingly enough. Interesting they would pick Tychus over the support, because I feel like now there are ways to counter this pick.
It's basically saying, I know you're going to pick Muradin, so why not just pick Tychus? If you try to do something else, then you can, but you're not going to be as good as Muradin.
What if Feliz picks Cassia now, though? That's a little bit concerning, isn't it? Cassia Johanna, uh-oh, you can't do damage. It's possible. Again, only one game played of Johanna by OJ, so it's pretty unlikely. And that's been the story of this series, is what these players pick is not always the best pick for the meta, but it's the best pick for them. And that's why I'd be surprised if we see the Johanna pick come out. It's going to be Greymane, not Cassia. And they do lock in OJ's second ever in his career Johanna.
Nice call, Wolf.
And skin synergy as well.
Yes, skin synergy, that's what you need. The latest skins. Those cocktails look so cool.
I don't know. No, we have seen this in HGC career, haven't we? Like maybe
we
once.
did maybe once, but not
the Johanna.
Also, yeah, maybe not Johanna. But now they have blinds. They have much more dive potential.
Ariel. Did not see that one coming. This is some experimentation, it feels like, on the side of Miracle.
It's not the first time we saw it, the pair with the Hanzo. After the Vala really failing, we saw Ariel plus Hanzo, which worked a lot better with the Crystal
double
Aegis.
support though, wasn't it? I got my new pink notebook that G-Clef gave me, so I had to pull my other notebook out that has a cute shark on it to look up that information. Hold on. All right.
With the Medivh, not a double support.
Yeah, so Medivh, not real double support.
Actually, once more with a Karazim. With Gluck pulling out with ETC Hanzo, Ariel, Karazim Blaze. So they have a lot more damage filling up from Karazim, and double support sustain. Actually defeated Tempest with that team comp.
Well, OJ is playing his second ever career game of Johanna. Let's see how this works out. Or doesn't.
You're welcome, Wolf. I know you love pink.
Yeah, I like pink. I like my cute shark notebook.
Your $10 pencil?
$10 pencil. I'm using a pen today, though. Because I always start new pink notebooks with a pen. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, next week will be pencil.
Is that a pattern? Is there a reason behind it?
Yeah, because like I said, I like to start the first day of my new pink notebooks with pen, starting today.
Okay.
That's all I like, G-Cliff. All right, so this is risky business. They have Johanna, so retreats can be easier, but look at Tracer's pulse bomb count. That's what this was about. Building up about a fourth or a third of pulse bomb. Successful mission in that regard. Because Sonya wins the matchup against Dahaka, though, Franco's going to have a tough time actually consistently pulsing or targeting anybody. Judy's always going to be in the front lines trying to prevent anything from happening to Tychus or Ariel in the early game. If you have a losing matchup in the soul lane, With the Tracer, you can look for a lot more ganks. That was how Tracer was played in Korea at the beginning with players like Kyocha and Sign. And Frankel, actually, to be fair. But in this winning matchup, it's a lot tougher, which I think is part of the reason why they picked Dahaka, because now you have a losing matchup in the lane, so Tracer can't gank you. You're going to be losing that when, you know, there's no global effect. But when you go to shrines and temples, you're actually going to have a great time.
Uh-oh, Jaehyun.
Oh, boy.
Just not knowing the macro. Judy came slightly too
Oh,
late.
God, HA2 coming down here as well. This is some hefty commitment. They still lose it. And he has to take the walk of shame back up to the top lane.
Feliz got to kill. They steal the camp. Also forces out the global. Everything that they wanted to do came true. What a start for Feliz. Actually, Sniper flexing into Tychus because I think it's maybe Gunza's Hero's Pull, but that's why Gunza's on a Hanzo this time.
Yeah, Gunza actually played Junkrat previously, so Sniper was on the Hanzo, which I thought was weird. Tychus Sniper makes sense to me because that's what we've seen so many times. Because Sniper is always considered to be the sub DPS, and Tychus was considered to be the sub DPS in most DPS duos before double support. So all feels right in the world. I'm watching Judy play tank. Got Sniper on the Tychus. Gunza's playing the carry hero. Okay.
I think it's a lot better. Still, Ariel, of course, died in that invasion. But Jaehyun, a nice player, and also can be another tool to save your teammate. But Crystal Aegis is like it's the only one this time. No double support. So has to really be careful positioning against the Tracer, who is always looking for that kill.
Yeah, Sniper gonna eat that pulse bomb, but he was ready for Frankel to gank him. He waited for a long time before showing himself, and the second the pulse bomb did come out, he got behind the wall. So he ate the pulse bomb, but he lived, so win for him because pulse bomb's gone now. Now Frankel's gonna eat a lot of damage here from Gunza. The push is really annoying, but I like that they're kind of turning this on to Dahaka, because Dahaka would actually like to be the one in the bot lane right now, because he could always come up at any point, but because they actually take top instead, Dahaka doesn't gain anything from it being up here. He wishes he was bottom. All he could do now is go solo the mid-temple, but the macro effect of the global that Miracle picked is totally nullified by this push of Feliz.
I think that invasion had to do with this because they were later in rotation, they were catching up. Potentially, I was thinking of a Blaze pick from Miracle. And just knowing that Feliz does not have as much experience, I think they were trying to out-rotate that the macro into the game, as you mentioned, but not really falling into the right places right now against that Frankel's Tracer.
Yeah. Well, Judy looking for a window to harass here. Gets blinded, pushed away. Does end up getting this grab though, forcing out the Iron Skin. The Johanna pick I think was so good. And this is the opposite of what we were kind of talking about earlier, as Frankel gets another pulse bomb kill here. Where we were saying OJ he's unwilling to play the hero that makes sense. But he's kind of going against that now, which I think shows a lot of promise in terms of adaptation. We're down 0-2 in the series, then he plays the risky hero pick, even though it's the right one. And hasn't shown us anything incredible just yet, but he's playing the hero well. He's showing an improvement of hero pool. And right now, Feliz is massively ahead in this game, a whole level ahead. Camp control has gone to them consistently. The Dahaka top lane ends up being wasted because he actually rotated down once. Then they flipped the lane matchup on him, so he couldn't get any global impact on that last temple phase. This next one, obviously, is going to be able to do a lot more. In fact, he's already leading the soak up there with Sonya down here.
It's kind of counter picks, unless you literally have close to zero times played. I think you really have to go with the synergy and try to counter, even though you're not the best at the hero. If you have the synergy, if it's a good counter against the other team, why not try when your team is falling behind 0-2? I think it's about time you adjust into the meta.
They're actually going to go for this boss here before 10, but they should hit 10 as this happens.
I think the Dahaka does have...
He does have it, but like they don't have 10, so I don't think they can fight this. Notice that spear. I was just in case Dahaka was coming down, just in case someone was flanking there. So they steal the balls, continue to control the macro, continue to take every camp. And even though Dahaka's going to gain a lot from being top this time, like I said, because Feliz has his boss pushing, they can actually send someone top to harass him or just at least pair with against him in terms of experience. And the boss killed the healing well was killed before they even took boss. Even if they failed to take boss, they still won this bottom matchup because they took the healing fountain away. Miracle only halfway to 10s. This allows Feliz to physically push mid. OJ gets grabbed though. He's gonna do a condemn on his way out. That was a great toss onto HA2 though, getting him into good position. Stun onto Malfurion, no ice block. Isolation gonna come in actually onto the Grey main though. Oh, that Moonfire just barely getting him healed up. Healing Fountains gets hit by the arrow, but it's not enough damage. Pulse coming through now, bursting through this armor. Frankel unable to get the kill. We'll have to back away, but Feliz gets the whole mid. They're getting keep damage on the wall. There's a Siege Giant push down here. Like, Miracle is getting out-rotated. This Oreo pick has not been worth it.
They chased way too far and now locks in the Twilight Dream at the perfect moment and uses that right after to get that Garrosh pick. Nicely done by Liu.
The Eminem moment, man.
He was waiting even when Greymane was so low. I guess he knew that Greymane was going to make it alive. Make out alive, and they still have bottom lane pushing against Hanzo, which the boss didn't do too much, but forced the entire rotation of Miracle. Feliz in total control of the map. They're stealing the camp, and the entire map painted blue right now. I mean, how do you come back into the game as Miracle here?
Well, they haven't lost a keep, but Feliz wants to change that. I think if you have a snap fight here and win it while Sonya's missing, you know Sonya's missing, that's how you can do this. That's how you can at least get back in the game a little bit. Arrow doesn't obviously stun OJ because he had his Iron Skin up. Tracer is able to immediately blink away, and they escape. This was their chance to win a fight. They're still committing to this. I don't know about this, though. Aimer was in a risky spot. He's got eyes in the dark, though. Gets away. They saved the keep, but they wanted so much more. It's 6 forts to 3. Nearly, we could basically just erase that and write a 2. One shot, one of anything will kill that bottom keep. So, what does Miracle do? The question you asked, the answer is I think they have to win a fight. They have to win a really big fight.
I think this is a start for them. Of course, Feliz hit 13, but even though they lost so many structures down already, Miracle missing that taunt is kind of big. But Miracle still, they had the global. They have lots of time, only 8 minutes, only a little before 9 minutes into the game. They can still wait for that 16 mark, 20 mark. And look for the fight, but they're losing it big time right now.
Okay, Twilight Dream not actually really connecting here. HA2 coming from the side. Big stun. Judy's got that armor. That's part of the reason
Tracer
why
also
Oriole's
isolation,
good.
but recalls, and he's safe.
Safe indeed. Hanaten here removing everyone's ability to retreat. Sniper is dead. This actually could just be game over. Jaehyun doesn't have his heal off cooldown. That's going to be 4 dead. Make it 5, I think. Because even though Good just survives here, they can just kill this keep. He's just
Keep the keep, take
no
both
armor.
tempo. Oh, they're actually not poking into the keep.
That's a little bit weird. Well, they've got a minion wave, I guess. But and also if he stands on this thing like for 1 second, it's like and then it's gone. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
2 shots?
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I said. I didn't say I said there it goes.
Well, having a 3D cast with you, Wolf, is very enjoyable. That's the Caster John way of casting. Well, here we go. Miracle focusing on 1. 3 levels behind, though. Even if they get every damage together, of course they will get Tracer. I don't think they can kill Greymane even. 3 level gap pretty big. They just hit 13 now.
Frankel is actually crazy. He wants this. He was in drag range. Oh, but he fakes him out.
Look at that.
That's a kill. Very likely. The keep is down, so even though he gets the burrow,
Oh.
like, that's just a dead. Oh my god. And the
Arrow passing by.
Oh.
Isolation missed on that fight too.
Yeah.
Well, it's super hard to hit the skill shots against Tracer all the time.
True. I thought Frankel was crazy, but he's just, you know, one of the best Tracers.
So we were wondering why Frankel was not really considering Tracer all the time. When they had first pick Malfurion, I thought it was basically guaranteed to lock that in game 1 and 2. But this time they do it, and it's a different game when they do so.
Yeah. I feel like they should be doing it more often. Amber's like, wow, give me a piece of this boss. Gets pushed away by the whirlwind there.
Coming in, they have
okay,
Hanzo.
They have Hanzo.
They have pokes.
Isolation in a few seconds. Taunt is a real big tool here. OJ already used his condemn. They steal the boss. Boss can be called a throw pit for a lot of good reasons. Aimer gets blown up here. Frankel's still alive, but is at half health. That's a second kill here. Core under attack, meanwhile, by Siege Giants, but not too significant. Liu had to use his Ice Block to avoid the boss stun. Minions are going to help shield this here. 1%, maybe a few more will be taken off of the core. But they're going to be able to possibly get this keep wall here. Kanaten going to go for a cap steal at the same time. I do like this. Feliz has the 16 talent advantage.
They can't really contest the boss with just 3 men, so might as well just go around, steal the camp. And you know that the Haka has to release that pressure, so they have all the time to safely just do the camp times. Miracle will actually be happy because they can get more structural damage done. And it's okay for that 16. Now the gap is closing in, super tight together, but Feliz is actually using the time to control the macro still. When the boss goes down, Feliz will be ahead in macro.
Yeah. They need to figure out how they want to approach this next fight. Another pulse bomb is going to be ready soon. Maybe that could be. I mean, look at the bottom. I was just going to say, maybe getting a pick on the Tiger, I mean, onto Dahaka again could be the way. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually succeed this time. Mid keeps dead, or almost, I should say. Stun comes in here. Iron Skin already used. Good Blessed Shield for the disengage, but Miracle's hungry. They want this fight. They're on even talent tiers. Isolation here. Not enough to kill Hanaten. And they do win the fight. They take control. They save mid keep. But they need more than this. They wanted kills. They wanted this fight to be their fight. You know, in all regards, but they fail. Now they're going to lose this push in the bot again. Because Dahaka had to be up here, so the bot is just going to keep pushing. They're going to have another pair of Siege Giants heading down there. So the macro war is won by Feliz, ironically, on this map pick of Miracle that you and I felt like would be a fantastic pick for them. They are being outdone by this early keep kill.
But that was not the worst. The worst case scenario was going to be a long fight, because all the lanes will be pushing even more.
Yeah.
Miracle actually wanted to waste that top experience a little bit and force out as quickly as possible. They got what they wanted with the initiation of Hanzo's Dragon Arrow. Nicely done by Miracle. I think they'll be happy with the result of taking the entire temple. Of course, they are very out macroed still, but they have lots of macro.
Jaehyun tried to get the stun there when Tracer went in. If he had gotten it, it might have actually been a kill.
Focusing on the Sonya once again.
Yeah. It can work, but it just depends on the situation. In this case, I like it while they're on retreat. Giant's not happy about being dragged, but he's going to go back to sand.
Lots of catapults.
Yeah.
So it has to be dealt with.
Don't pull him into the keep, though.
Keep is super low. I think the top keep is also somewhat damaged.
It is. The wall is down, I believe.
It was that gigantic wave on the top lane, which Miracle just threw out. So there's that EXP gap still.
Yeah, you can still see it. That was pretty cool, though. Pulling those Siege Giants, grabbing them, eliminating them quickly. Using what little health that keep has left to help clear this faster, using the tongue drags. Not actually aggroing the mains into the keep to lose it. It's well played there. But let's see if Feliz can win one more fight, because Miracle's won the last 2.
Let's see how Feliz wants to macro this one out. Top mid-tempo, which means Miracle has to focus on to the lane that they do not have. They do have to keep. The other lane, which they don't, they'll be away from. Maybe have to send Dahaka for that.
Okay, Tracer backdoors this. So that's huge. They wanted to prevent it. They wanted to get here before the 20 seconds expired. That was a little bit sad for HA2. They had to use he missed his hook there and had to.
I think this is the first game where Feliz is actually controlling the macro until the late game. Yeah. Let's see how well they can keep the snowball going. So far, not the best, but pretty good. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of play from Feliz.
Yeah. I mean, when you're this far ahead, as long as you understand how macro works, it's the only correct play. Are you even going to give the first Temple over to Miracle.
Tracer's away. There's a taunt on to Sonya.
Yeah. He's getting very low, but he's got a lot of heals here. Judy gets that armor. Sniper is persistent. Tossing an HA2. Misses the drag, though. So unfortunate. And now, the longer this fight goes on, like you say, the macro goes against him. Okay, we have the answer now. What happens if the Sonic Arrow gets shot there? It just sits on an invisible barrier, unlike Falstad. That goes down the door. Okay, they take control of the Shrine back. Keeps are under fire here. Double Shrine controlled by Miracle before 20. They are going to have to send somebody home to deal with that mid push. And as you can see in the bot lane, Tracer's trying to get 20, trying to push this bot lane so that they have to go back faster. They're really, Miracle's pushing the envelope. Like, how much can they get away with here before they have to go home?
Miracle's doing such a fantastic job. They know that Tracer is not really in the fight anywhere, somewhere away, maybe to the camp. Try to look for a longer game. When actually Feliz, they were doing it before, but I think right now they have to be closer to 20. And they can't really draw the bigger picture anymore. They have to look at what's ahead right now.
Pulse Bomb, though, should be able to break through that armor. Does take out Garrosh. They did everything right leading up to this moment, but it might just be too little too late. They had to come and contest for this Temple. And that's when Feliz strikes. They're going to get the kills. Everything you and I just said is true, but it all becomes irrelevant when 3 heroes die. And Feliz will bring us to a 4th game here as they walk down the mid lane, hit this core. Only Dahaka here to defend. Just no way they can stop the onslaught of Feliz now with level 20s. Hanzo's dead. Dahaka's going to join him. 5 dead on the side of Miracle. That's game over. As we head into a 4th game, Feliz is able to bring it back. Rough for Miracle. It was their map pick, and they got out macroed because the early picks that Feliz grabbed in that early push for the bot lane with the Siege Giants got an early keep, so that meant that they were able to always control the macro. The backdoor by Tracer on the mid keep also just doubled the amount of pressure. Miracle took both temples. They played around how passive Feliz was being for so long. Almost got top and mid keep with those temple shots, which would have eliminated most of the keep pressure. But then they overextended and died, so it was it all ended there.
Very well played. Controlling of the macro, which we barely ever saw from, not Franco, Feliz. And on this map, they really knew how to go around. Franco having the best hero that he can play, Tracer. The sniping onto multiple targets, make sure they at least hearth back home and waste the rotation. Dahaka, in this case, was not the best pick, always sniped on from Franco, lost the laning phase super hard, wasted global multiple times. So HGC had a tough game number 3.
Yeah, he was supposed to control the macro, but he got controlled super hard. And Franco, he's one of the first Tracers ever in Korea since 2016, and he just never let up across the years. Now he's back in HGC, back in the pro scene, playing that Tracer again, and Tracer's meta, and so he's able to use this hero on a multitude of platforms. This is one of those times where you look at him, 0 deaths, 30k damage, consistent pulse bomb connections, very impressive. Solo kills on Dahaka, dodging isolation and the tongue grab. You know, what are you going to do?
Everything that Tracer can do, but tonight may be his last day. The Tracer nerf will very likely to come with the later patch, and we still don't know what the exact patch will be next weekend. But once the Tracer nerf hits, I think this team will be super damaged just because Franco may not be able to play Tracer at all. It may be just like game 1 and 2 where they can't really control the macro, they can't really snipe onto anything. Well, game 2, Franco with the Genji, well, always wanted to snipe on that Junkrat, but once you can never find that Junkrat, he never get a chance because your utility is a lot less of a speed compared to a Tracer. But look at him on the Tracer, so good. He knows exactly where the opponent is all the time, even controlling the macro sometimes.
Yeah, and the Tracer control of killing solo laners when you were that far ahead is so strong. When Franco played Tracer back in the day, it was like against Falsteads and Sylvanas that he was killing with the Tracer in the solo lane. But now killing a Dahaka, you know, that's only allowed when you have such a large lead in your macro, and that's because they got that early pick on the temple. We're going to Dragonshire,
which is very unexpected from Feliz. But after game 3, I think they were confident enough to, hey, our macro's working. I think we can just pick Tracer if not ban, or maybe have our own global And let's try to out-rotate Miracle. And it worked fine in Game 3. Let's try to do it in the bigger map where macro works the most.
Yeah.
Dragonshire.
Well, I think that there's a possibility that Tracer gets banned here because the effectiveness was super high on Sky Temple. Was picked in second rotation with Sonya after the Malfurion pick. They didn't take Tyrael with it. They took the Johanna in response to the Tychus and Hanzo picks. I think that Johanna had such a huge impact in the game.
Yes.
Minus those last few fights where we saw Ironskin used a little bit early and there was some misplays from OJ. But otherwise, the blinds allowed them to invade so aggressively, steal those Siege Giant camps, which allowed them to get that early keep, allowed them to get that early fort. Then they switched lanes, went to the top lane. It was tough to mitigate the damage coming through when Johanna just had shield glare up all the time. That's why those night camps in the top lane were always winning. They were always pushing harder. It was so difficult to deal with them because you got blinds coming through, you got the spell armor. Really well played by OJ. I mean, I believe he was 0-1. Yes, now he's 1-1, so it's the second game ever on Johanna. But I prefer it to his Murden after watching that game.
Only 50% super Probius in part 2, 100%. And I looked up. I think in Korea, Probius is actually 4-1, including 2017, all the games. So we'll see about that. Dragonshire, possible. Oh, these teams, maybe not. But everyone from the communities were saying, let's just not play Hero League tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of Probius.
Yeah.
We had some huge posts, crazy posts, threads from the Korean community sites saying that Probius actually looks super strong in that Infernal Shrine game.
Yeah, it really does. So, I mean, like the shields were great. It was good zoning, great for Infernal Shrines. Don't try this at home though.
Don't try it in NA.
No.
At least come to Korean server.
Just don't do it. Maybe